You have something special. You have greatness in you. Hi, I'm Les Brown. I want you to like this page and share it. Have you had the experience I've had? I would just sometimes start strolling through the internet and just find so many negative things or things that don't make sense or people doing all types of pranks. And I just said there must be something else that this platform can be used for. So I said I'm not going to be watching people of darkness and people who don't have a filter between their brains and their mouth. I'm going to create something positive, and I'm going to speak in a way that people who can hear my voice, that they will help me to form a community of collaborative, achievement driven, supportive relationships. Now, if that's you, I want you to reach out to some other people and say, guess what? Les Brown is on. He's got a message for you. All right. Please do that now. Make a move to do that to get some other people engaged. One of the things that I feel that people are doing right now, at least I am, is reflecting on my life. I spoke last week about how suicide has become 33% increase for people of various ages, and young people between 15 and 29 is the second leading cause of death. People throwing in the towel, giving up, feeling like their life had no meaning or no purpose. And I want to talk to those of you that can hear my voice, because I'm clear that everybody can't hear me. And most people rather die than change. I mean, there's a book called Change or Die, David Dushman. And it says, been proven scientifically, that most people rather die than change, or go in and out of jail or prison than change. And so there's a reason why the book of life says the road to life is straight and narrow, and few there be that find it. And so the stage of my life, there's some things that I'm realizing, and I want you to be able to profit from. I'm 79, so I know a thing or two because I've seen a thing or two. And here's something that I'd like to share with you. The hip hop preacher, who's the number one speaker on the planet, he said that, and I second the motion to him. Eric Thomas, he said, "You owe you." That's real. I was talking to a lady today, and she said she's looking at her life with new eyes. She said she's been spending the majority of her life looking out for family members and friends. And now at this stage of her life, she's ready to turn the page. At this stage of her life, she wants to do something for herself. She's gone through a divorce. And now in this season of her life, she wants to do something for her. And she thought initially that the people that she poured into, that she gave them time and energy and empathy and love and financial assistance, and they're nowhere to be found. Is that story familiar? There's some people that they're always there when they need you. Eric Thomas is right. You owe you. You owe you. A lot of stuff that's happening in life. Life be happening. And I'm encouraging you, as I wish I was as disciplined years ago and the guardian of my time as I am now. And I know that the reason that I'm protecting my time and have zero tolerance for nonsense and toxic negative people and activities is because all of us have an expiration date. Nobody's figured out how to get out of here alive. I'm 79. Okay, come on. And so he's right. You owe you. What is it you want to do with your life right now? You owe you to focus on that. and allow that to govern your choices. Allow that to become your magnificent obsession. Like this page and share it. You know somebody who's talented, who's gifted, and they haven't scratched the surface of their potential. You know somebody that perhaps that they're stuck right now, and they're paying more attention to the toxic, negative, do-nothing people in their lives as opposed to focusing on themselves. And many times they can be your children or your family. Sometimes, a good friend is better than a bad relative. My very good friend Jerry Jackson said that's what his mama told him, and that's real. Family is not determined by bloodline. No, it's determined by loyalty, by integrity, and who's got your back. And at this stage of my life, I have an anti-assisted living facilities. I'm anti-nursing home. What do you mean? I have a game plan and a strategy not to be a burden to my children. And I don't need no assisted living. No, because you go from there to the nursing home and from the nursing home to the cemetery. No, no, I'm engaged in life. I'm not interested in being a room of people that I don't know just waiting around to die. No, that's not my idea of a good party. I worked too hard to get here. You see this picture of my twin brother and I eating sugar cane? Let me share something with you. Coming up in the South, coming up in an environment that is designed to hold you back, systems put in place to make the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, and systems organized, I would say, systems of control, politics, and the church, to keep people focused on living after they die, or keep people focused on things they can do nothing about. They have no impact on them. You to ask critical questions. What do you want to do with the life that you have left? I ask myself when I get up in the morning now, and Steve Jobs did this, I ask myself the question, if this were in fact, Mr. Brown, your last day on earth, look at the things that you put down last night that you want to accomplish today. Would you do all the things that's on this list? And there's some things I took off. There's some calls I will not take because people say time is money. No, time is life. It's life. If you can feel a brother up in here, I want you to like this page and share it. Let some other people know. I said, I'm not going to be watching people doing ignorant, stupid pranks and sit around and be a spectator, as opposed to using the time that I have left to share with those who can hear me. And I know the masses can't hear me, but there's some of you who've been listening to me when you were a kid, when you were small, little teeny weenies. Some of you are familiar with my voice and familiar with my story. And the reason that my voice resonates with you is because what's in you is also the same thing that's in me. When you look at me, my brother Wesley eating sugarcane in Overtown in Miami, Florida, nobody could have projected that this Les Brown up here, that he would be speaking to over 80,000 people, over 2 billion around the world. Nobody would have predicted that. Let me share something with you. You got more in you than you can ever begin to imagine. This is a time you have to pull back your mind. This is a time you've got to focus on you. What do you want to do? What brings you peace? What brings you harmony with yourself, with your relationships, with your family, with your goals and your dreams? What is it that brings you joy? And how much are you creating that? And what are the experiences that you want to create right now with family members or friends that will touch your heart? That said, it's not the number of breaths that we take, it's the number of experiences that we create that take our breath away. I had a breathtaking experience 2 years ago when I discovered my birth family. That was jarring. My twin brother and I, we were conceived in Gainesville, Georgia. But my mother, she went down along with our father to give birth to us in Miami, Florida, in Liberty City, an abandoned building on the floor, because Jackson Memorial Hospital did not accept Black people at that time, colored people, as the term was. But I want to share this with you. Like this page and share it. And I want you to see this because I've been reviewing this and looking at it again. And it's each time it's like a movie that you've seen before, but each time you see it, you see some stuff that you did not see before. Like this page and share it. You know, I just discovered my birth parents. Here I am, 77. I just saw for the first time a picture of my mother and my father. Wow. I've never seen that before. And so that's a major disruption. Two brothers that I didn't know I had. That's a major disruption. So I'm still processing that. We were talking about the last few weeks.
Here I am, my 77th year on the planet. And now I find out. God said, I got something for you.
My second cousin showed me a video of my mother speaking, which I've probably watched it about 56 times. It was disarming. I just said, you know, Mamie Brown, who adopted me, you know, my birth mother, she gave me life, but Mamie Brown, who adopted me, she taught me how to live life.
I had always wanted to see a picture of my mother or father, and always wanted to meet someone who knew them. Now I have pictures and met people who knew them and sharing stories. But I did not realize how much and how important that was to me. I did not allow myself to recognize that hunger part of my life because I didn't think it would ever happen.
I went down to Gainesville, Georgia, and as many of you know, I connected with my birth family. And yesterday, this time, I was seated on the porch on a bench that my birth mother, Dorothy Rucker, built this house. They said she had a saw and a hammer. A saw and a hammer, and she built this house. And I was there to visit the Beulah Rucker Museum. My grandmother, who's a motivational speaker, and Dorothy Bell Rucker, who's a motivational speaker.
Collard green, I declare them good old collard green, good and greasy. Collard green, I declare them good old collard green. First you put them in a pot, then you steam them good and hot. Them good old collard greens.
We're at the Beulah Park Museum. It's 40 acres. When my mother graduated from Savannah State College, she purchased 200 acres of land at 50 cents an acre. Okay, and and she worked. She worked hard. I'm excited about this, and I've been reflecting and doing a lot of thinking. It's a new narrative for my life. I now have to begin to ask the question, what am I to do with this? I and my brother, we were a secret.
Wow.
This thing called life.
Did you care to know why they put you up for adoption, or?
Oh, I knew why she did. She was married.
Okay.
And her husband was away in World War II.
Gotcha.
So she had to get rid of us before he came back.
Boy, them country secrets be different, don't they? them down South Dirt Road secrets, boy. Lord
No, they're everywhere. And so it was disarming to see her, to see our mannerisms. There's certain things are taught and some things are caught. And you do things, and you don't. There's some things I call they can't help it. That you can't help it. It's just who you are. Yeah. It's in you, and you've got to do it. You are driven. You were chosen to do it. Sometimes you don't know you're missing something until you find it. She's a pioneer, education pioneer, hard worker. This is, I've had to sacrifice time both day and night to light a torch of instruction, which I hope will cause the public to see the purpose of this much needed institution. The Rugged Pathway, Beulah Rucker, 1953. I was 8 years old. My birth mother, Dorothy Bell Rucker, has created a new narrative for me. When I had my talk show, my radio show, I would say, this has been Mrs. Mamie Brown's baby boy. Now I have to say, this has been Mrs. Mamie Brown's baby boy and Dorothy Bell Rucker's pride and joy. I've got two mothers and I'm not ashamed. I've got two mothers and I love them just the same. And so I now have an expanded narrative about who I am and what caused me to become the kind of person I am, because Dorothy Bell Rucker was a motivational speaker, teacher, educator, and Beulah Rucker, who had a relationship with Mary McLeod Bethune, she was an educator, she was a motivational speaker. They have a museum in her name, the Beulah Rucker Museum in Gainesville, Georgia. And so that's the lineage that I came out of, that I had no clue, that I was not aware of. At this stage of my life, it has fired up my hunger to make a greater impact. I want to be like my grandmother and my mother, as well as Mamie Brown, to make my life count through people, as my mother Mamie Brown did, my adopted mother, and my birth mother. I want to have an impact on people's lives, a greater impact. And I know even at 77, I still got the juice. And still, every time I see that, it triggers thoughts. Have you ever felt there's something in you, and that
you had to can't help it that you had to do it, or it just kept nagging you and you ignored it and you push it aside, and then something comes up and there it is in your face again. Yes, some of you understand what I'm talking about. Let me see. I'd like to see some comments from you, because this message, I'm of the opinion that we can do something about what's going on now. I know that we're going through a major disruption. There's no question when we look at what's taking place with artificial intelligence, and over 300 million jobs will be replaced. I know that we're going through something major. A shift is taking place. But I have hope. If you feel like I feel, let me see some comments over here. if you feel like I feel, that we should never lose hope. When we think about our forefathers, stony the road we trod, bitter the chesting rod, felt in the days when hope unborn had died, yet with a steady beat have not our weary feet come to the place for which our fathers sighed. We've come over a way that with tears have been watered, come treading a path through the blood of the slaughter. And when we look at these young people sagging with their pants below their butt, and grown men as well, looking at young men who see going to prison or jail as street credibility, running around with people who have no goals and no dreams and throwing their life away and wasting valuable lifetime doing nothing. I believe that we were born and preserved for such a time as this, that we should not lose hope. We were chosen for this time out of 400 million sperm. And there's something in you. There's something in you that you have that the world needs now. And that's why God chose you out of 400 million sperm. So Dr. Miles Monroe, which I was very upset with God when he passed in a plane crash, he said, Les Brown, there's no success without successors. Let me share something with you based upon my own experience. Your story has value. You've gone through some stuff. I've gone through some stuff. But the things that we have gone through, as Dr. Cheryl Wood would say, they weren't for us. They're for other people to learn, gain from our wisdom how to cross the red seas of life and don't throw in the towel on yourself. It's like Mick Hunt would talk about in the Mick Factor, that you have to keep going, that there will be setbacks, there will be failures, there will be droughts in your life, there will be valley experiences, but keep going. You don't stop. I went through a whole lot of stuff. I was diagnosed with 4th stage prostate cancer. I refused to have the radical prostatectomy. So it gave me 338 radiation seed implants. That's the record. That's the Guinness Book of Records. 338. And I'm still here. And I said, look at this tumor so big. Look here. They ran out of radiation seed implants. You know, and I wish I could say when I first was diagnosed with prostate cancer, I wish I could say, Lord, please help me. Please save me. Please heal me. That was not my first prayer. You know, my first prayer was, Lord, please move this prostate cancer to my ankle. I don't need 2 ankles. I can do good. I can hop around on 1 ankle or to my elbow. Oh my goodness, I'm turning red as I tell you about this, but you can't see it. I can't believe I'm sharing this. My mother said, boy, your mouth is like a refrigerator. You can't hold nothing. But I was determined. I said, I can't go now. And so things are going to happen. And you've got to have the kind of mindset, no, you've got to become a no matter what person. I've gone through foreclosure, losing the first home that I bought for my mother. I've gone through some stuff. I used to hide my car so they couldn't repossess it when I was back behind on my payments. I learned a long time ago, if you want to get back on your feet, miss 3 car payments. Now they got technology. I don't care where you hide that car. They can find it. That ain't right. That ain't right. No, they're invading my personal privacy. But listen, if you have a story, and this is, everybody's got a story. Let me just put it like this. If you have a heart for people, that's one. If you have a heart for people and you feel that's a calling on your life, and you want to learn how to invest in yourself, and you're willing to put in the effort to learn how to tell your story so that you can make a difference in people's lives, and not only live a life that counts and a life that matters, and earn money too, just as I have. If you'd like to learn how to speak and tell your story so people see themselves in your story, like I've done this and touched over 2 billion people around the world, I'm saying to you, as Eric Thomas would say, you to invest in yourself. Well, I don't have the money. Then get it. There's never a shortage of money, just a shortage of commitment and resourcefulness. I got on a Greyhound bus from Miami, Florida, because I didn't have the money to fly to Dallas, Texas to go through a training. And the guy told me, don't ask the question, how much does it cost? He says, ask the question, what will it cost you if you don't do that which you were born to do? That was a mic drop. Let me share with you what it would cost me. I would have never earned $5 million for doing a talk show that King World paid me. Let me share with you what it would cost me. I would have never been able to speak for AT&T, Procter & Gamble, McDonald's Corporation, General Electric, IBM, and I have no college or corporate experience. Let me share with you, as a result of investing in myself, I was able to live a life from standing in a very poor section of Miami, Florida, eating sugarcane with my twin brother Wesley, being labeled educable, mentally retarded, put back from the 5th grade to the 4th grade, failing again in the 8th grade at Booker T. Washington High School, and still been able to go around the world because I was willing to invest in myself. My mother fixed me a pot of marinated frog legs. I ate frog legs from Miami, Florida to Dallas, Texas. They called me the frog man on that Greyhound bus. I was hopping toward my dream. If you are, no matter what person, if you're ready to go into business for yourself, if you are ready to invest in you, so I can coach you and train you how to do what I've done. We've got the multiplied voices of hope out here. If that's you, I want you to go to lesbrown.com or call the number on your screen. But don't call up here looking for no freebie. Can I get a scholarship? You know, we come from a culture where we buy what we want and beg for what we need. Does it cost? Absolutely. The more you pay, the more you pay attention. I earn more in 1 hour than 90% of the American public earn working for a whole year. And I don't say that to impress you, but to impress upon you, you've got greatness in you. You have the ability to do more than you can ever begin to imagine. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Yes, yes, yes. So I want, if you can hear me in your heart, I want you to go to lesbrown.com or call Dr. Valerie and said, hey, I'm willing to invest in myself. I want to turn the page. I want to do something different. I want to do something meaningful. I want to do something that touch my heart and my soul. If that's you, see, a lot of people out here training people just to speak to sell. I'm looking for people who want to speak to serve. And I'll show you how to make some money. Speaking to serve. I know this. And don't let somebody teach you how to do something that you've never done, that they've never done, you've never heard of before. You know me. I've been doing this 52 years. So you know me. You've heard my voice. And if you haven't, you better talk to somebody. I say, you just ask around, have you ever heard of Mamie Brown's Boy? Yeah. I want you to go online and pull up Les Brown speaking in the Georgia Dome, if you haven't heard me. That's one of the most watched motivational messages on the internet for years. Les Brown speaking in the Georgia Dome. He's speaking before 80,000 people. I want you to think about me and my twin brother Wesley holding 2 pieces of sugar cane, eating that, and then look at that guy there. And let me share something with you. In order to do something you've never done, you've got to become someone you've never been. And it's very important. 3 things in order to make it today. Number 1, having a coach, somebody who has achieved and done what it is you want to do. That's number 1. Number 2, changing your mindset, mental resiliency, because you will fail your way to success. And 3, being in a community of collaborative, achievement-driven, supportive relationships. You want to be in a community of people that's going in the direction of where you're going, who want what it is that you want, who are willing to push themselves and challenge themselves, who understand and know that average is over. This is a time you have to pursue your greatness. If that's you, if you can hear me in your heart, then I'm your guy. I'm going to teach you how to speak so people will not just hear you, but they will feel you in their heart, how to deliver a heart-centered message. Yes, this is your moment. This is your time. You're here because of God's grace and mercy. Boy, I'm so grateful. I should have been out of here a long time ago. But God saw fit. He gave me grace. He said, no, you ain't going nowhere yet. Cancer, get back. No. PSA 2400. That stands for prostate specific antigen. 1 to 4 is normal. To me, PSA stands for positively staying alive. Oh, behave. You have something special. You got a story that needs to be told. Helen Keller said, life is either a daring adventure or it's boring. Maya Angelou said, there's nothing as painful as an untold story buried in your soul. As my mother would say, put that in your pipe and smoke it. I hope that you got some value out of what I've shared with you. Here's something else I want to leave with you. S.B. Fuller said this, always strive to be more than that which you are, if you wish to attain that which you are not. For wherever thy pleases thee, there thy abideth. You have something special. You've got greatness in you. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Bye for now. Oh, behave.